What's going on, everyone? Let me just check that we are streaming. Looks like we are. There we go. All right, rock stars, what's going on? How to zig when they zag during New World Corona. What the heck does that mean, and why does it apply to you? Maybe it doesn't. So listen, this is kind of exciting times for me right now. I have to admit, if you're here, let me know that you are, even though I may not be directly seeing your messages right this moment. But today, I decided to launch a brand new show. And some of you are wondering why I'm streaming on my personal page, Joanie Dillon, on Facebook. And it's because I'm going to be launching a new show on here. And the show is called The 1% Life Show, which is kind of exciting. And for those of you who've been followers or fans, perhaps, fans and followers of the podcast, The 1% Life, what we've decided to do, what I'm deciding to do right now, is to launch a brand new show that will be streaming live here. And I'll tell you more details about that. So, super excited to be here with you. How to zig when they zag during New World Corona. By the way, tag anybody or share this out, please, for those who may want to hear it. So what's going on? Here's what's happening. By the way, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Joanie Dillon. I'm the host of the 1% Life podcast, peak performance coach and trainer, and I help you become the top 1% in your sales, business, and life. So today we're talking about a little bit about this crazy new era that we find ourselves in. And I don't know if you feel this like I do, but I'm starting to feel that there's a new normal that's being created. And that new normal is, it's almost like an acceptance of where we are right now. People are just adapting to this life as if it's normal. Maybe you feel the same. And it really bothers me, to be honest. And I feel like this is not what I want my new normal to be like. Who agrees? So the reality is, comes down to, because we cannot control the things around us right now, what can we control? What can we control? And I do believe this is a completely new era that we're stepping into right now. We don't know how long it's going to last. You have no clue. I have no clue how long it's going to last. And we might as well just assume, I'm going to go super conservative on this right now, and that's 90 days. 90 days. And knowing that you may just be quarantined in your house or wherever you find yourself for the next 90 days, what does your life look like for you? And here's the reality. We all have choice. You have a choice as to how you want to come out of this thing. Because the reality, Rockstar, is that we will come out of it, and we just don't know when. We're going to come out of it, but how do you want to come out of this time? And many people are choosing to inadvertently, not like conscious choice, but it's based on the behaviors that they're exhibiting and showing. And it's not because they may not want any better, they may not just know any better. And so what I'm going to share with you is a way that you can choose different, and you can choose to come out of this stronger than you came in. So here's what's happening. When we look at this new world corona and all the craziness that comes along with it, there's a lot of things that we are forced to not be able to do, right? Like we're not able to go through our normal routine. We're not able to go to work, most people on the planet right now. And we're forced into quarantine in our homes. Now, whether you agree with that or not, that's a whole nother topic of conversation. The reality is, it's here. It's the reality. So how you choose to deal with that time inside your bubble, your home, your space matters. It matters. And it matters if you want more out of life. It matters if you don't like how you came into this corona situation. What do I mean by that? If you feel like You're hurting for money. You're not feeling comfortable in the times that we're in. I get it. I completely get it. And that's how I felt during the last economic collapse in 2008 and 2009. And look, this is not me saying this, the signs are here. This situation is going to be way worse than that ever was. And I don't say that to like scare you. I say that because if you don't have a plan to make it out of this thing, not just to survive it, but to make it out better than surviving it. Like, what if you could make it out thriving? Better than you went in, right? What if you could? So when I ask you this question, how to zig when they zag, or a statement rather, how to zig when they zag during New World Corona, it's coming from this place. If you want to be a one percenter, which maybe you do because you're watching this show, The 1% Life, if you have desire to be a one percenter in your sales, in business, in life, in your relationships, in life, if you have a desire to be the 1%, you have to be willing to do what the 99% won't. So when they zig, you have got to be willing to zag. So how do you know what zagging looks like versus zigging, right? And look around. It's pretty obvious if you really get into the psychology of people right now. People are freaked out. And the scary part, and that's my interpretation of this right now, is that scary part is that it's almost like becoming like I'm caressing, like it's okay. Like this craziness that we're in, not being able to go anywhere, the economy shutting down, which could lead to seriously a depression. All signs are there. Some even say we are in a depression. The ripple has not even yet begun. It's not begun. And when we think of that, what are the 99% of people doing right now? Waiting for direction. They're waiting for direction. They're waiting for the president to say we have more stimulus dollars. I think that just ran out today. I don't know, or it's on the verge of it if it didn't already, for small business. They're waiting for it to the government to give more stimulus money to families. They're waiting for the government to say, or the CDC, or whoever's in charge, the state, really the state, to say, okay, now you can go out of your house, right? They're waiting for orders. 99% of the world is waiting for orders. And yes, I agree. Right now, there's a lot that we need orders to be able to do. You cannot return to work without orders that you can return to work. You cannot return to your normal, quote unquote, life until you are almost given permission. But what is in your control? Now, what do you have control over? What do you have dominion over? Yeah, maybe it's not seeing the friends that you want to see, going out to eat, having girls' night. Maybe that's all virtual right now, guys' night, traveling. I'm supposed to be in Cyprus in the Mediterranean right now. I would be in the middle of an event. That's not happening. That's not happening. There's no way. I mean, the event's happening. We're streaming it virtually. I can't even be there. My business partners are taking care of it. I'm here, locked in my home. But what can I control? What can I control? And the reality is that you cannot control your external world. Can you not? But you can control your internal world. And when you really, really get what that means, it means this. You have a choice to live in fear right now. you also have a choice to live in faith. Those words, from a frequency, a vibrational frequency perspective, feel very different. They really do. When I said fear, I felt terror inside. When I said live in faith, I just lit up. You have a choice to live in fear, or you have a choice to live in faith. It's up to you. Everything is a choice right now, right? Everything in life is always a choice. Whether you obey the quarantine orders or you don't is a choice. I mean, you can't go break into a restaurant and make yourself a meal. I suppose you could, but everything is a choice. So what are the 1% doing right now? And maybe some of you are hearing that going, that sounds so elitist. If you think that it does. And when I say 1% right now, I mean the people who are living that life that feels unaffected in many ways by Corona. Now, maybe their businesses are impacted and they're having to pivot a bit, right? Maybe that's the case. I know that's the case for me, hence the birth of this show. And maybe they're feeling a little constrained because they're not able to travel, go and do whatever it is that they do, go to Hawaii, go on their yacht. I don't know. What do the 1% do? Whatever it is that they do, there's a behavior that's on the front end of that life. And the behavior, I just finished a training a few minutes ago on habits. And our habits are, our life rather, is a byproduct of the habits that we have. And so if you want to come out of this Corona, new world Corona era, once it ends, right, it will look different going out of this. But if you want to come out of this, not surviving, but thriving, then you have to be willing to do things that most of the world won't do. You have to be willing to take on behaviors that feel uncomfortable. Right now, I got to tell you, it's not the most comfortable for me to be streaming for the first time ever on my personal page. It's not the first time ever, or it is the first time ever, rather, that I'm recording a live podcast. That's not normal. I can normally hit pause and say, edit that part out if we need to. I don't get a second go at this. It's live. And it doesn't feel comfortable that I've stretched myself to adopt a new behavior that supports my goals and dreams and my mission. Because my mission right now is, what if I were to give this 90 days, Jay? That's me talking to me. What if I were to give this 90 days? What could change in 90 days? So I'll be fully candid with you. The audience that I served, many of you are watching and listening to this right now, they're radically impacted by this. The hospitality industry, decimated. People are hurting in many different industries. Service industries, in-person service industries, restaurants, those industries are, many of them decimated. They've closed their doors. They cannot open back up. They're not getting the funding. It's all going to Outback Steakhouse or something like that. Didn't they get like $20 million? Right? So my industry was really impacted, which caused me to think as a creator as opposed to a consumer of content versus a creator of content, and thinking, how can I serve greater and expand out my brand to reach and help more people who need it, to help more people who are struggling right now, right? Look at me, I don't even have my hair done, right? Like, hair's a mess, it's not even done. And I knew when I looked at what would be best case scenario for 90 days from now, And I urge you rather to ask that question to yourself. What would be best case scenario for you? If you were to look at this as 90 days, we're here, we're doing this, we're quarantined, whether you're with somebody, alone with your family, 90 days. What is an ideal 90 days, the finish of an ideal 90 days look like for you? And here's the question. Maybe, well, let me give you a little background first. Maybe you're limiting that thinking to the restrictions and the limitations perhaps that you're feeling based on the realities that you have right now. Not having work, right? Not having a place to generate income from that you know of yet, depending on the government to help you out, whatever that is. What would happen if you just set that to the side and allowed yourself for just a moment to dream? To dream for 90 days. Take a pen out, take a journal out, take a piece of paper, I don't care, take anything and write. What if at the end of this 90 days, my life looked like this? And I promise you, when you let go of the how to create that, you're allowing yourself to dream. No dates, no timelines, just what if I? And so I did this myself. And I thought of, what does my life look like? What could my life look like in 90 days? Because I'm forced out of my bubble a bit, right? I'm still serving my clients. We've got amazing clients. We're going to make sure they're taken care of and more. And I'm not going anywhere there. I'm there. And there's a whole world who's waiting for direction right now. I'm not saying I'm the one to give it to them. Not everybody's willing to receive that. But I am here to give it to those who need it. So what does that 90 days look like for you? And once you get clear on, look, here's the reality. Let me back this up just a minute. In order for you to know where you want to end these 90 days or finish, right? Looking back at your life like, oh, that was me 90 days ago. You've got to get clear on where you're at right now. What you love, what you despise, maybe what you hate about. Could be your finances, could be your relationships, could be your health. And when you get clear on where you're at right now, it's a pretty clear sign. If you don't like it, the opposite is where you want to be. So if it's, I don't have money, well, what if you did at the end of 90 days? Releasing the how and opening yourself up to possibility now. And so when 99% of the people are contracting and watching Netflix and sleeping in, not getting up, brushing their teeth, not doing their hair, not doing their makeup. I mean, I didn't do my hair today. It's in a braid. Could have just let it out and it would be fine, but with a little bit of work. I still chose to put makeup on today. Why? Not for anybody else, but because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better to have lipstick and mascara on. And when I feel better, I show up bigger. So what behaviors are you doing that you're ready to let go of? And what behaviors would benefit you to step into? And once you get clear on that 1% life, or that, just let's not even call it 1% life right this second, like 90 days, are you going to get there? Maybe, maybe not. But your ideal 90 days from now, Looking back, what does that look like? How much money will you have? How much, who's in your world, who's not in your world? What does your health look like? What does your body look like? What do you feel like? All of that. And then this is the question, who do you need to be? Who do you need to be in order to make that outcome happen? And then, how committed are you to making that happen? Because I'll tell you what, this mission is beyond me right now. Look, I'm like, seriously, this was actually good for me to show up with messy hair and all because it's not like that comfortable. But if I were to not show up because of my hair, because I'm just wearing a sweatshirt and it's like, whatever, I need to get all dressed up. No, that means that my selfish needs are bigger than my mission. My mission now is to serve. My mission now is to serve bigger than I've ever served before. My mission now is to be somebody I've never been before so we can reach the people who need us, who need to hear that they may need to get up before 11 a.m. and that they may need to take a shower and to put on something positive instead of the news. And to think that they could come out of this stronger than they went in. And that if 90 days was all it took of concerted effort, conscious, intentional, purposeful effort, that they could go in stronger, come out stronger than they went in. If that was possible, and an option, which it is, who needs to hear that message? And maybe it's you. So I ask you, who do you need to be in order to have what you want to have at the end of these 90 days? And are you committed? Because the person I needed to be had to be producing content, creating content, not consuming content, creating content for where I'm at in my life right now at a massive level. I had to get out of my own way, stop thinking about this hair, even though I keep tweaking it back if you're watching me live or the replay. And I had to show up. So now what I'm committed to is what I don't want to be committed to, but I'm going to be committed to because it's the person with the outcome that I want at the end of these 90 days does this behavior, puts others first before her, which I tend to do, but sometimes when it's comfortable. So I'm committed to showing up for you 5 days a week. Ooh, I just put that out there. Dang, that feels uncomfortable. It does. And that's why I had to tell you that I'm going to do a show. And every day, it might not be 30, 40 minutes, whatever. It might be 10 minutes. It might be 5 minutes. We'll tell you the time. We're just looking at my calendar, figuring out what will work Monday through Friday. It's probably going to be around 2 p.m. Pacific or 2:30 p.m. Pacific. Every day, right here. You get to come alone. You get to bring your friends. You get to share this out. You get to show up and whatever topic we're talking about. If you listen to the 1% Life podcast, we're going to share this on there as well. But I'm here for you. So write your comments, write your thoughts, share this out. And right now, more than ever, the world needs you to be somebody you have not yet been. So who are you willing to be? Until next time, rock stars, get out there and spread love today. That's my message for you. Hope you enjoyed this.